Hello guys, welcome to another video. I ask you to leave your like and subscribe to the channel to not miss any of our stories. My name is Sarah, and this is the story of how an unexpected miracle changed my life forever. My home had always been a place of peace and joy, but after my husband Peter's passing 2 years ago, it had become a quiet, empty space. Every corner of the house reminded me of the loneliness that had settled in. Yet, despite Peter's absence, his departure left more than just longing. Peter had worked for years at a metalworking factory, eventually becoming a partner, and we had accumulated a reasonable fortune. Before he passed away, he left me financially stable, a security many people didn't have. One beautiful day, on a cold winter morning when the chill seeped into my bones as the kettle whistled in the kitchen, I tried to warm my thoughts with the prospect of a steaming cup of tea. The gray sky was heavy with the promise of more snow, falling lightly and transforming everything into a white blanket. That was when I heard a soft sound coming from the front door. At first, I thought it was just the wind playing with the old wood, but the persistent sound made me rise and investigate. Opening the door, I was greeted by an unexpected sight. A small wicker basket rested on the porch, its surface covered by a light dusting of snow. My heart skipped a beat as I realized what was inside the basket. A baby, wrapped in a pink blanket, her eyes closed, emitting a soft cry that seemed to say, "Don't leave me alone." Beside her, a simple yet emotion-laden note was handwritten. "Please take care of her. She deserves a better life than I can give." Without hesitation, I gathered the basket into trembling arms and brought it inside. I cradled her near the fireplace, where the warmth began to melt the snow on her blanket, slowly soothing her cries. As I held her, I felt an overwhelming mix of emotions: concern for the abandoned child, compassion for the unknown mother's despair. Faced with this situation, a series of conflicting thoughts invaded my mind. What did I know about caring for a child? I was alone, without maternal experience, and the responsibility seemed overwhelming. It seemed like madness. What if I couldn't provide everything this little one needed? Doubt mixed with the compassion I felt for the mother who made this difficult decision, and also with worry for the future of this defenseless child. But at the same time, looking at that little life before me, I remembered the love that still existed in my heart, the desire to fill the void and loneliness that my husband's departure had left. The memory of our financial stability made me realize that I had the resources to offer this child the comfort and security she deserved. And above all, an inner strength, a maternal instinct that perhaps I didn't know I had, began to emerge, telling me that I could do this and that this child didn't end up on my doorstep by chance. I thought that everything that was happening had to have a purpose, so I decided I was going to keep her. In the days that followed, I found myself immersed in a new routine centered around that little baby. I named her Lily, a name that seemed gentle and comforting, matching her delicacy. She brought a light into my life that I hadn't felt since my husband's death. Each day, I learned something new about caring for a baby. From the first moments I held her in my arms, to the nights I woke to feed and soothe her, each moment was a learning experience and an opportunity to connect more deeply with her. Each spontaneous smile of hers, every coo and new sound she made, filled my home with joy and laughter. It was as if, in caring for her, I rediscovered the happiness I thought I had lost forever. My community also became incredibly involved. Neighbors, who had always been kind, became a true support network. They brought diapers, clothes, toys, and helpful advice to assist in Lily's journey. Some even offered to babysit her for a few hours, allowing me to rest. It was comforting to know that we were not alone in this journey. As the days passed, Lily became the center of our small community. Everyone was enchanted by her captivating smile, and innocent curiosity as she explored the world around her. It was as if she had the gift of bringing people together, bringing out the best in each of us. As Lily grew, a persistent thought invaded my mind. Who was her mother? What were the circumstances that led her to leave her on my doorstep? I knew that one day I would have to tell Lily the truth about how she came to me. It was a conversation I feared, but knew was inevitable. However, in the meantime, I was determined to give her all the love and security she needed, regardless of the circumstances of her birth. The initial contacts with Lily were a journey of mutual discovery, adaptation, and building a bond that transcended words. Each shared moment was an opportunity for growth for both of us, an opportunity to learn together about what it meant to be a family, even though our journey had begun in such an unexpected way. The years flew by, and Lily grew before my eyes, turning into a vibrant and curious child. 5 years had passed since that cold winter day when she came to me. Now, at 5 years old, Lily had the brightest eyes I had ever seen and a contagious smile that could brighten the darkest day. I enrolled her in a nearby school, where she quickly adapted and made friends easily. Her innate curiosity and thirst for knowledge set her apart in her classes. She absorbed everything like a sponge, always asking intelligent questions and demonstrating an incredible ability to learn quickly. It was remarkable how she had a natural talent for connecting with people around her, spreading joy and positivity wherever she went. Her personality was a charming mix of determination and kindness. Lily was brave and never feared challenges, always willing to try new things and explore the world with childlike curiosity. At the same time, she had a generous heart, always ready to help her friends and do good for others. It was as if she carried with her a bit of the brightness that brought her to me on that day so long ago. Our life together was filled with precious moments. On weekends, we went to the park where she ran freely, bursting into laughter while playing with other children. At night, she enjoyed reading stories before bed, her choices ranging from fairy tales to books about adventures around the world. Each day was a new adventure for both of us, and I was grateful every day for the miracle she represented in my life. However, as Lily grew and approached the age when she would start asking deeper questions about her origin, I felt a tightness in my heart. I knew the time to tell her the truth was approaching, and I wondered how she would react. How could I explain to her about her unexpected arrival and the love that had united us since then? This conversation loomed like a shadow over our happiness, but I knew that over time, I would find the right words to tell Lily about her unique story and how much she meant to me. One day, I took Lily to play at the park she loved to go to and noticed a woman who kept staring at us. Whenever she realized I was looking at her, she would look away. She seemed to be gathering courage to approach us. She finally came closer. Her eyes were filled with tears, and she seemed nervous. "You're Sarah, aren't you?" she asked, her voice trembling. I nodded, watching Lily and her friend Hannah playing in the sandcastle. "I'm Lily's mother," she said, tears continuing to fall. "I couldn't take care of her when she was born, but I always hoped she would find a home full of love." My mind spun with this revelation. I felt a mix of emotions, surprise, fear, but also understanding. I invited the woman, named Maria, to talk. As we had afternoon tea, she told her story of struggle and hardships, and how she knew she couldn't give Lily the life she deserved. Initially, the idea of Maria's presence and involvement in Lily's life seemed like a blessing. Lily, with her childlike curiosity, accepted Maria's presence with an open heart, but I thought it best not to tell her yet. I wanted Lily to establish a bond with Maria before revealing the truth, to soften the potential shock of discovering that she was her biological mother. Maria started visiting regularly, and I thought maybe we could form an extended family in some way. But gradually, I began to realize that something was not right. Maria started infiltrating our lives subtly, but her actions soon raised suspicions. Initially, she seemed to be making an effort to gain our trust, always bringing gifts for Lily and being overly solicitous. However, certain attitudes and behaviors began to reveal her true intentions. A clear example of her malice was when Maria insisted on taking Lily shopping. It seemed like a harmless gesture, but I soon realized something was wrong. When they returned, Lily was loaded with expensive clothes and toys, far beyond what Maria could afford with her modest salary. Confronted, Maria evaded, saying they were gifts from wealthy friends. However, the luxury store tags told a different story. Maria always seemed more interested in asking about my financial situation and the assets we owned than in spending quality time with Lily. She often mentioned how difficult her financial life was, sometimes directly, other times insinuating. On one occasion, she brought a catalog of expensive jewelry, showing interest in specific pieces and casually commenting that she would love to have them. Her gifts to Lily, though ostensibly generous, seemed to have a hidden interest, to gain favor and perhaps even to control the situation. Another time, Maria showed up with a large suitcase, implying she had nowhere to stay. She asked if she could stay with us for a few days. Reluctantly, I agreed, but soon realized her intentions were not sincere. She seemed more interested in rummaging through the house, and once again didn't miss an opportunity to inquire about my finances and belongings. Another incident occurred when Maria offered to help manage my finances. She argued that as Lily's biological mother, she wanted to ensure everything was well organized for her daughter's future. Reluctantly, I allowed her to see some documents, but soon realized that some of my savings had been transferred to an unknown account. When I confronted her, Maria claimed it was a mistake, a confusion with numbers, but her cold smile told me otherwise. Things worsened when Maria began questioning my authority over Lily. During a meeting with Lily's school teachers, she insisted on sitting beside me, correcting me at every opportunity. During the conversation, she tried to insinuate that I was not a suitable mother for Lily, making passive-aggressive comments about the upbringing I was providing. The school was left confused, unsure whom to listen to, and I began to feel threatened by Maria's constant and invasive presence. One day, I found Lily crying in her room. When I asked what had happened, she revealed that Maria had said I wasn't her real mother and that soon she would take her away to live with her. This was the lowest blow. Maria was trying to manipulate the mind of an innocent child, planting seeds of doubt and fear. Concerned, I installed security cameras at home, and it didn't take long for me to catch Maria rummaging through my belongings. In a video, I saw her going through my closet, leafing through my documents, and taking pictures of personal information. I showed the recordings to a lawyer who advised me to keep an eye on her and start gathering more concrete evidence. My intuition was right. Maria hadn't returned to Lily's life out of love but out of self-interest. She wanted access to our financial comfort, perhaps even to the inheritance Lily would one day receive. Apparently repentant, she was actually scheming a plan to take everything from us. The height of Maria's villainy came one night when I worked late. When I got home, I found Lily locked in her room, sobbing. Maria was in the living room, acting as if nothing had happened. Angry and worried, I demanded to know what was going on. Maria looked at me coldly and said she was just disciplining Lily for being a disobedient child. But the fear in Lily's eyes told me a different story. That was the last straw. I knew I had to act quickly to protect Lily. I sought help from my lawyer and close friends, who began investigating Maria's past. We discovered she had a history of manipulation and deceit, including with other families. She had a pattern of infiltrating people's lives and trying to take advantage however she could. I gathered all the evidence and filed a restraining order against Maria. However, she didn't give up. I received a summons in response. Maria was claiming custody of Lily, arguing she was the biological mother and claiming she wanted a second chance to care for her daughter. My heart tightened with fear and concern. I had already fought so hard to give Lily a safe and loving home, and now all of that was threatened. The legal battle was exhausting and painful. I had legally adopted Lily when she was 2 years old. The adoption process was meticulous, and in the end, I received an adoption certificate that ensured Lily was officially my daughter. However, Maria, with the help of a cunning lawyer, argued that the adoption was done without her proper consent. She claimed she wasn't in a condition to make rational decisions at the time, painting a picture of a desperate woman who had been unjustly separated from her daughter. In court, Maria presented herself as a remorseful and reformed mother. Her tears and emotional appeals were convincing. She claimed that although she had made mistakes in the past, She was now ready to be the mother Lily deserved. Her lawyer reinforced this narrative, emphasizing the importance of biological ties and the opportunity for redemption. Their argument seemed solid, and for a moment I feared the judge might be swayed. I, on the other hand, was desperate to protect my daughter. I brought to court all the evidence of my love and dedication to Lily. I presented photos, testimonies from friends and family, and reports from social services confirming that Lily was well cared for and happy in our home. My lawyer argued that changing Lily's custody now would be extremely traumatic for her, especially considering how Maria had initially abandoned her. Maria, however, did everything to discredit my efforts. She brought forward questionable character witnesses who claimed I wasn't a suitable mother, that my dedication to work was harming Lily's well-being. Though these accusations were unfounded, they planted seeds of doubt. Maria also dug up painful personal details from my past, trying to tarnish my reputation and character in front of the judge. During one of the most crucial hearings, Maria presented a supposed testimony from a former neighbor who claimed to have witnessed Lily in neglectful situations. Although my lawyer discredited this witness, the damage was already done. Maria's narrative was working, and I could see the scales of justice dangerously tilting in her favor. The final hearing was a moment of high tension. I remember looking at Lily, sitting beside me, and promising myself that no matter the outcome, I would never stop fighting for her. When it came time to speak, I made a desperate plea. I explained to the judge that Lily was my daughter in every way that mattered. I talked about the sleepless nights, the laughter, the tears, and the unbreakable bond we had formed. To my surprise and relief, the judge took all of this into consideration. He declared that while Maria was the biological mother, Lily's well-being was paramount. He recognized that the adoption was valid and that changing Lily's custody would be more harmful than beneficial. The final decision was in my favor, but not without a warning for Maria to stay away until she could prove she had truly changed. The victory in court was a crucial step in ensuring Lily could continue to live in a safe and loving environment. She was still my daughter, and I would do anything to protect her. The process was painful and tense, but I finally managed to keep Maria away from Lily and me. Even so, the threat she represented still hung over our heads, like a shadow from the past that could never be completely erased. But I was determined to protect my daughter. I decided that from that moment on, I would do whatever it took to ensure Lily lived a safe and happy life. Time passed, and Maria's threat slowly disappeared from our lives. She eventually gave up on her attempts to gain custody of Lily, perhaps realizing she could never compete with the love and dedication I offered. Lily and I, on the other hand, continued to strengthen our bond, becoming closer than ever. After Maria's turbulent passage through our lives, Lily discovered I wasn't her biological mother. I needed to be honest with her, and the moment to talk about how she came into my life finally arrived. I made it clear to her how much this transformation had meant to me. I told her how, from the first moment I saw her, I felt immense and unconditional love, and how she gave me a renewed purpose. While this truth could have been a burden, for us, it was an essential part of our shared history. I didn't know how she would take it, but despite the initial confusion, Lily realized that nothing changed the fact that I had always been her mother. I had always loved and cared for her with all the love I could give. So we continued to live and discover ourselves more and more. As Lily grew up, we faced various challenges together. She went through difficult phases, like any child, but always knew I was by her side, ready to support her every step of the way. Our home was filled with laughter, deep conversations, and moments of mutual learning. Lily had a resilient spirit, and I did everything I could to nurture it. When Lily entered adolescence, questions about her biological origins became more frequent. She wanted to understand more about Maria, her biological mother, and what had led that woman to leave her. Together, we talked about the complexities of life and the choices people make. I always encouraged her to feel what she needed to feel, without judgment. It was a period of significant growth for both of us. Lily grew into a strong, intelligent, and compassionate young woman. She excelled in school, participated in extracurricular activities, and maintained a loyal circle of friends. I was always there, at every performance, game, and event, proud of every achievement of hers. When Lily turned 18, we organized a big birthday party. It was a day of reflection and celebration. In the midst of the party, Lily gave a speech that deeply touched everyone present. She spoke about our journey together, the hardships we faced, and the love that kept us united. She said that despite not being my biological mother, I would always be her true mother in every way that mattered. My mother taught me that love isn't based on blood ties, but on actions, care, and dedication, Lily said, with tears in her eyes. She showed me what it means to be loved unconditionally and how to be strong in the face of adversity. For that, I will be eternally grateful. Those words were a balm to my soul. I felt a wave of pride and emotion. Our bond, forged amidst so many challenges, was unbreakable. Lily was my daughter, my friend, and my greatest joy. Peter would certainly be proud of all this. As I looked at Lily, surrounded by friends and family, I realized that our love had transcended all barriers. The future was bright and full of possibilities. Together, we had created a story of resilience, love, and redemption. And regardless of what came next, we knew we could face anything together as mother and daughter. So, what did you think of this touching story? We hope you enjoyed it. If you've experienced something similar, share it with us in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Your story can inspire a lot of people too.